to share with you a subject that is one of those that kind of like going to the dentist, right? You know, I mean, how many people here are excited to learn about taxes? You know, those of you that raise your hand are the ones that understand. So there's 3 people here that I'm speaking to, so thank you for joining me this evening. I certainly do appreciate that. But folks, once again, my name is Brian Belleville out of Huntington, West Virginia, and you know, it's exciting to be here this evening. And you know, 2.5 years ago, researching 100 companies, narrowing it down to 40, narrowing it down to 3, flying in and meeting Blake and his 2 co-founders, made the best decision of my life. 33 pounds, lost it in 90 days 2.5 years ago. And what's exciting is every time I see people every 3 or 4 months, like, are you still losing weight? I know, it's the same weight that I lost 2.5 years ago. So the cool thing is that what I've started to do is, you know, kind of estimate what I've earned per pound lost. And it's a pretty cool thing to try and follow, but I challenge you to follow that. So you get somewhere around 12, 13, 15, 20 pounds, $20,000 lost per pound, it's not a bad deal. And then you're going to have to start worrying about guys like Uncle Sam. Yep. What I want to talk to you about tonight is a section that, you know, taxes are not that fun, but here's what I want to share with you, is that to be the best entrepreneur you can be is important to the people that are looking for you. Okay? So it's your responsibility to be the best entrepreneur you can be. So what I'm going to do is talk about taxes in a little different light. How would you like to learn to overcome the #1 objection with every single one of your prospects that are deciding to become a promoter? Yeah. Okay, there's 3, we've got 6 people interested now. I'm getting better. Okay? So let me rephrase that. Actually, I'm just going to say the same thing again. Does anybody here, let me ask you this question. Does everybody in the room know what the #1 objection is normally when it comes to becoming a promoter? I don't have the money, right? So how would you like to learn how to overcome the #1 objection and be able to say, if money wasn't an issue, would you join right now? There we go. Now we're talking. And I know that you know, Blake said something that, you know, only you can endure what your hind end has been sitting on. This is awesome information. I normally have about 45 minutes to go through it. I have about 25 now. And the good thing is that when you mix a GoPro and a Neuro with metabolism boosters and X-ray and buyback, I don't think get your pens ready. Here we go. This is also going to teach you how to not only overcome the #1 objection, but it's also going to teach you how to actually upgrade those basic distributors to an executive success system. Anybody interested in that? All right, now I'm starting to find the coin-operated folks out there. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to ask everybody, you know, a lot of times in life, you know, you say, you know, man, if I would have just been here at this place. But you know, this is one of the things I like to say, you know, I should have done this, and, you know, I should have done that. And anybody ever said that? You know, well, guess what? Today, you're going to stop shooting all over yourself, and we're going to give you some exciting information, and they're going to replace my clicker as we go through here. So I have a new assistant now, Vanna. Next slide. All right, here we go. Now, stop shooting all over yourself. Next slide. All right, and that is should. What we are doing, and you know, what I like to do is mix a little laughter with a little serious, and I'll warn you when I'm being serious, because normally if I'm being serious and I don't warn you, people still laugh, and that's not cool. So the key thing is, folks, is that we are fighting something very serious, and we're fighting the financial crisis in America. And most people don't look at taxes this way, but it is the largest bill that you pay. Most people don't realize that. People, you know, are scared because, you know, the IRS's #1 tactic is fear. Why? You know, why is it that when you're actually doing the speed limit and you pass the cop, you still jam the brakes? See, that means if you laugh, you're breaking the law. You know, you don't, so sometimes you just don't even know. So it's a question, sometimes you just don't know what you're doing, but if you're following the law, and you know you're following the law, and you're doing what you are allowed to do by law, then you want to go as fast as possible without speeding, right? You know, so that's what we're going to talk a little bit about tonight, and also teach you how to recruit using this. So it is the largest bill you pay, and my question is this: how many people here have a cell phone? Okay, this is that participation thing. I know everybody has a cell phone, and that didn't look anywhere near like all the hands. How many people here have a cell phone? Now we're talking. All right. So, have you ever like sent an extra 50 because you didn't drop a call that month? Great job, AT&T. I didn't drop a call. Here's an extra 50. If you wouldn't overpay your smallest bill, why would you overpay your largest bill? So after I give you this information, I have officially taken away your right to gripe about taxes. Fair? Okay, so it's the number one bill we pay. Now, this is what I used to look like in corporate America. Anybody follow me there? Used to go to work every day. You know, if you stick your head in the sand long enough, you just get stuck. You know, Uncle Sam, you know, that finger, you know, the unique thing about that finger is that, you know, you got to realize which one is pointing at you. Okay? You know, it is the right one. So you just got to watch it because your taxes can get bigger if you don't understand what you need to do. Now, it is the number one tax reduction strategy in America, bar none, absolutely, is owning a home-based business. Now, a lot of people know that, right? They know that, and a lot of people that have a business that's not network marketing or direct sales, you know, you run into this a lot of time, you know, if you start talking about taxes, you know, well, I take all these deductions, I have this business, and wrong answer. Unless someone has a home-based business, not ViSalus, unfortunately to say, I wish I could say ViSalus exclusive, but when you have the number one home-based business, it doesn't matter anyway, right? So the key is that they need a home-based business because it is the number one tax reduction strategy in America, bar none. Now, don't take my word for it. There's documentation all over the place. This guy's Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You know, there is writing all over the place. You know, professionals like this talking about, you know, owning a home-based business is the smart success strategy. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep, right? You know, so the key is that you want to become the best entrepreneur you can become because your first financial testimony is going to be your tax testimony. And you need to learn to talk about that because a lot of you, when somebody goes, well, how much are you making? You know, that question. I don't know why people love to ask that question. Why don't they ask that about your corporate America job? You know, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm a police officer. Well, how much you make? Huh? What? You know, I don't understand why people like to ask that question. You know, how much you make? And, you know, depending on who you are and how you want to answer it, you know, it's up to you. But what you got to realize is that your first financial testimony should be saving thousands of dollars on my taxes because I have a home-based business. And here's the thing. As soon as you stop paying your auto ship and your ViNet Pro and you do not have a home-based business and you take tax deductions, there's a big difference in tax deductions and there's tax avoidance and tax evasion. Tax avoidance and tax evasion. It's about 10 grand and 5 years in prison. Okay, so you definitely want to know the difference between the two. So, documentation all over the place, and Congress passes these laws, right? The IRS is not some scary thing when you understand it, right? People normally fear what they don't understand. When you understand that you know, Congress passes the laws and the IRS is just checking to make sure that you follow the laws. They've got the speeding gun, right? Making sure you're following the limit. And here's the thing, it's your money, not theirs, okay? You ever seen one of those pictures that you stare at a lot? You got to stare at it for like 20 minutes and all of a sudden this little dove comes out? You know, you see it staring at you? So if you look at this, it's your money, not theirs, right? The IRS. It's your money, not theirs. So what you got to understand is you want to make sure you take care of your money. How many people here believe that knowledge is power? Show of hands. Guess what? You're half right. Applied knowledge is power. Unless you apply the information that you learned today, we love the high fives, the hugs, and the kisses, but you know what? We don't, all these speakers here that are here today, we love, you just walk out and say, man, it was great, I learned something. Our greatest form of flattery is when you go out there and apply this information and you become successful. That is our greatest form of flattery. And if I wasn't paying attention, it would have cost me $33,000 a year when I was in corporate America. When I was in corporate America, I had my accountant, CPA, whatever you use, actually, you know, work up a little testimony for me, and my tax deductions, I saved $33,000 a year in deductions. That is a life-changing amount of money. You know, corporate America was pretty good to me, being around the 6 figures, but you know what? It comes with a price called time freedom. You know, so the reality is that when you start earning more money, you're going to start paying more taxes, but you want to pay your fair share, not a penny more, and learn how to recruit using that as a testimony. So you definitely want to pay attention. And in West Virginia, we call that a clue. You got to understand and pay attention. Now, for most people, taxes are the single largest expense. We talked about that. I want to show you this little pie chart so you understand that this is your responsibility. Taxes are not a once-a-year thing. Taxes are a once-a-day thing, okay? You want to understand the difference between that, so pay attention to your taxes. Now, you know, if you learn a system, how many people here would spend 5 minutes a day to save an extra $10,000 a year? Yes, that's what you can do. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep.